How's it going, fam? Welcome back to Erica's EDC, and today we are going to do the final boss testing of MAGNAMAX. As you saw, I've been marinating some rope in the bed of my truck in moldy, muddy water for a year and a half now, and I've been wondering what to do with it, and today I finally had an idea. We're gonna cut it up with the MAGNAMAX. Now, disclaimer, this is not actually my original idea. Scott from CD Knives the other day was testing ABL Pro Cut and 1V, and he was cutting like a dirty toe strap, and it was a quick and easy way to get an idea of how long the front end sharpness lasted on those blades. And I was like, man, I have that in the bed of my truck. Why not? So Scott, thank you for the idea. This is not going to be controlled. This is not scientific. Pete is releasing the sisal rope cutting very shortly, I figure, because he's editing it right now. But we're going to test the freehand edge that I put on here during a video that I've been testing for like what feels like a month, and we're just going to cut as much of this dirty, muddy rope as possible. I've done this before, and not very many knives have made it very far. Again, this isn't scientific or anything. It's not controlled. I'm not taping the blade. We're just gonna literally cut the rope on the table and just see what happens. Excuse you, Mr. B. One other disclaimer. The dogs are out here. Wow, my hair is... Okay, sorry. My hair is like crazy. I look like I'm on drugs again. Whatever. The dogs are out here, so I may have to cut the clip and restart if I have to like put them in the house if they're being too loud or something, but we're gonna try to let them be out here with mama because they love it. They're just also really loud and mentally challenged like me. So paper cut test to start. Remember, I've been using this every day for about a month in the house doing all kinds of stuff. You may be able to see the blade is a little like, you know, not tarnished because it's a stainless steel, but it's kind of grimy, okay? There's that edge that we put on together on a video, and let's do a paper cut test before we start. So pretty dang sharp still, which blows my mind. It is also very windy, okay? So pretty sharp. Let's see how long this will cut through that nasty rope for before it doesn't cut paper anymore. I'll keep kind of like checking the edge as we go. This is also kind of, it's not drenched, but it's pretty moist. I was gonna let it bake in the sun first, but then I thought, you know what? This will actually make the rope more slick. So not only is it impregnated with dirt and grime and pebbles and stuff, it's also kind of slick because it's wet. So I thought it would be cool because I'm wondering if the edge will kind of slip over the rope a little bit. Just playing around here. So I'm gonna flip the camera around so that it's like a better angle here, and then we will get into the cutting. All right, I think... yeah, this should be good. I think we're ready. We're gonna start cutting. I just realized there is a plant growing out of the rope. Okay. You know what? I need to flip this whole operation around. There we go. Okay, I think we're... let me make sure I'm in frame. Hello? Yeah, I think we're good. Let's just start fucking sending it. Oh yeah, this is tricky to cut through because it's drenched. And I'm gonna try to kind of utilize the whole edge. Best as I can. I can't really get down in here because I don't have enough like clearance with the table, but right, let's do a check real quick. I always pick the windiest days to do this. This is so tricky to do with the camera facing the opposite way. Oh, we've got some dulling. Okay, we're gonna keep going though because I wanna do it until it will not actually go through the paper at all anymore. I forgot to mention this, but for reference, I've only been able to do this like a couple cuts through with other steels. The only difference was I was going like this and cutting through, and it was like 3, 4, I think the top amount of times I was able to go through was 7 with K390. 7 of those, and then it just like would not go through anymore. So this is a little bit different. We're doing it a little bit different today, but generally with this type of task, the blades do not last long. Like this isn't, my point is this is not going to last as long as Pete's sisal rope cutting because this is a completely different animal and it's not meant to be as long of a test as Pete's sisal rope cutting. This is supposed to be way shorter winded because this is like really dirty, grimy, abrasive material. There's just nothing's going to last very long through this. I know my hand looks weird, but I'm just trying to make it so that I have more edge hitting this rope because I don't have a lot of clearance with the table. All right, let's do another. Ooh, we're just about there. I don't think I was in frame for that. Yeah, we're pretty toasted up front. Yeah, I think we're calling it there because it's really tearing. I don't know where I am. There we go. I should have been counting how many cuts that was, but it was a good amount. We have a pretty good pile here of dirty rope. Still have a good amount of bite back here where we weren't hitting the table, hitting the rope, so maybe we'll just do a little. Man, this stuff just takes a nasty edge. All right, so I'm gonna count these ones because this is replicating what I was doing with the other steels. So that's 4, 5, see if we can surpass K390, 6, 7, check the edge, 8, still good. 8, 9, 10, check again. Still good. Okay, that's actually crazy. And you can, guys, you can see how filthy and loaded with sand this stuff is. Like I said, this is not going to be an elongated test like sisal rope cutting. This is a completely different animal. It's going to be way shorter lived. Okay, I think that was 11, 12, 13, 14, let's check again. So right now we're double K390. Wow, this is wild. And this is like my crappy freehand edge. 14, okay, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's check again. I'm really running out of paper here, per usual. We're getting dull, but it's still cutting. Okay, see if we can do more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The K390 that I tested doing this was a factory Spyderco edge on a Delica, by the way. We're still going, man. It's like, it's dulling, you can tell, but it's still grabbing, so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still grabbing. That's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check again. I think that's 35, right? Oh, that might be it. Oh. No, I think we can get 5 more out of it. Hello? No? Hi, baby girl. All right, I think that's like 40, right? We were at 35. It still bites. That's wild. So it still bites the paper, but I can feel that it's pretty glassed out. So I think we're gonna call it at 40. That's freaking crazy. Let's turn this around to discuss this. Okay, so I'm figuring that the reason this did exponentially better than the K390 was because I was testing a factory edge on the K390, and it's just super typical that those can, well, any production knife can come with like a burnt fatigued edge. So I'm wondering if this did a little better because this is an edge that I sharpened. I'm not saying I'm a good sharpener because I'm not, but I wonder if maybe that's the difference because it was such an exponential difference, and this is basically a stainless version of K390 and 10V, so the difference seems really odd to me. It's just way too big of a difference. Compared to other steels that I've done this with, Crewware, S30V, S35VN, S45VN, it's a world of difference even just in the experience. The bite that this holds is way different. Those literally do like 3-4 cuts and they're just glassed the heck out. When you have rope that's basically, you know, impregnated with sand, it's just super, super abrasive. And it has a coating of mud on it on the top. It's just gnarly stuff. So why this did, I believe, 40 cuts on top of all of the stuff that we did on the table, I don't know, but I think it just maybe gives you a glimpse into how good MAGNAMAX really is. Pete's sisal rope cutting will give you way more of an idea of true edge retention, but maybe this gives you a little bit of an idea of like the wear resistance, the apex, the way the apex breaks down, because I don't feel a single like roll or chip or anything from cutting into the table through the rope, like with that force going through that sandy rope. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had more paper here. Like, we're dull, don't get me wrong, we're dull, but there's not, I can't feel any legitimate rolling or chipping or edge damage. It's just kind of glassed out. So that's pretty impressive. I'm going to sharpen this on the KME that I got, and then we're really gonna see what this can do, because there's so many factors that can go into a freehand edge when, you know, you're not a professional, and I'm not. Like, this did great in my opinion, but I'm gonna put this on the KME that I got from Dusty and really see how this does. But 40 cuts through grimy rope on top of what we did is kind of neat, I will say. I'm not sure why it did so well, but it absolutely obliterated the final boss. I feel like I have something crawling on me. So many bugs out here. Also, I don't want to jinx it, but the dogs were great. Like, they're all just chilling out here, just sunbathing. They're doing great. There goes all my paper. Okay, I think that is kind of all I wanted to do today, was just really test that wear resistance with some pretty abrasive material. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions. That was cool. I'm very curious about why I did so much better than the K390. I really think it must be like that typical fatigued edge type deal versus a sharpened one, you know? It's gotta be that. That's really interesting. Okay, so MAGNAMAX is wild so far. Absolutely wild. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. This thing's getting pretty gross. Go use your shit. Learn how to sharpen your knives. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you so much, fam. Take care.